Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the West Ale. Tonight's show is sponsored by Next Step Planning with IPC Securities. Please welcome our host, Mike McCurley, and tonight's special guest, Rita Chiarelli.
Rita Chiarelli in the house, folks. We're going to start with a song. What do you say?
I think we should.
Okay, you take it, sister.
Are we ready?
What's wrong with me? I said, babe, Lord, what's wrong with me? I see that things ain't like they used to be. Well, you come home in the morning, you've been out all night long. Well, you come home in the morning, you've been out all night long. When I have a little thing I do is wrong. Well, tell me, baby, it ain't nice. I ask you where you been, I have to ask you twice, Lord, babe. Lord, what's wrong with me for putting up with you, babe? 'Cause I see something right the way you treat me. Lordy, baby, are you not? Don't you know that you got to come home at night? Oh, la, 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 la. Things ain't like they used to be.
Rita.
Thank you. Thank you.
Rita Chiarelli. All right. Thank you, Rita. That was just fabulous. Good to have all you folks here in the house. We've never had this big of an audience since the pandemic hit, so it's great. It's great to see some live people out there. Yeah. Well, we're gonna sing a few songs, tell a few stories, right, Rita?
Yeah, and they're all true.
Yeah.
I'm going
I'm
to tell
sure.
the truth. Tonight is the night we tell the truth, Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Truth or consequences. So, well, let's start right at the beginning, like your birth. Let's go. We're going to go back in time. What was that? You were born in Hamilton, right?
I was born in Hamilton, yeah. I was born in Hamilton. My parents were...
We're
we should show
getting to the parents.
the parents.
We
My
gotta-
parents were Italian immigrants. My father...
This is Hamilton. You can cheer.
my mother was Romana, and my father was Sicilian. And he was from Racalmuto, which is Twin City with Hamilton. And there they are.
There they are. When Rita sent me this picture, it was titled The Argument. I didn't even know it was her parents. Apparently.
So these are my parents, and this is just before they came to Canada. This was taken in Rome, where they lived, and it's called The Argument because
They argued.
they argued.
They argued a lot.
They argued about everything. The passion was great in our house. And that's them, the argument, and they kept... I remember you said we found a picture where they weren't arguing.
Yes, we did find one picture.
That was an anomaly there.
They weren't arguing.
I don't know where you saw that one, but those were my parents.
Now, what about, let's move right on to your first band when you were 14, I believe.
Yeah, I know. So, okay, so I look 45, but I was 14. I was 14, and what happened was I had won a singing contest at the Playhouse Theater, right? And this gentleman here, this handsome-looking, kind of Paul McCartney-looking dude there, right in the corner, his name is Ralph Pagliuso. And Ralph, I was coming out of Eaton's with one of my best friends, and he was going in, and he saw me at the Playhouse, and he says, I've got a little band. Now I'm 14. Now he was about 22. He looked ancient to me. This was a big boy. You know what I'm saying?
Grown up.
Grown up boy.
Grown up
right?
boy.
So he says, I got a band, a part-time band, and man, we could use you as a singer, And I was just so excited to sing, It took me a while to realize that I should ask for money. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, me too.
So I said, that'd be great, but my father's Sicilian, and usually I have to be home by 4:30.
In the afternoon.
Well, yeah, school's out. Hey.
Right, I see.
How long does it take you to get home? Yeah. I said, but if you want me to, be part of this band, which, I it could have been any band. I'm 14. I'll be part of a band. What band, right?
Yeah.
So I said, you're going to have to come and talk to my father.
Uh-oh.
And he did. He said, okay.
Brave kid.
And charming, he was just as charming as he looks there. And he came and spoke to my father, and he said, look, we're all Italian. We get it. We rehearsed in the basement of one of our guys' house. You can come and have coffee and, talk to them while we rehearse. It's all good. And somehow, Ralph Pagliuso convinced my father that I should sing.
Praise
And
the Lord.
This was our shot there.
That's Rita and the Boleros.
Rita and the Boleros. That's right.
Kind of a Mexican.
I'll tell you something. I told Mike. I said, you know what? I know that there's 3, maybe 4 people in this whole audience who have ever seen that picture. Because I've never shown it before.
I talked her into it.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Now, what about the next band?
Well, okay.
Yes, whoa.
Hello.
Okay, she got serious all of a sudden.
Well, what happened? So I'm listening to music, AM radio and stuff like that, right? And it wasn't really feminine, powerful kind of stuff. Like on AM radio, it was, Johnny Get Angry.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Johnny Get Angry?
Johnny Get
The best was like, I want to be Bobby's girl. That's all. I just want to be Bobby's girl. That's all I want to do is be Bobby. And it was like,
maybe not.
that ain't going to happen for me. That's not good. The worst for me, and please, I don't want to offend any of the artists that wrote these tunes, any of the artists that performed these tunes, all of you that like these tunes. They were very popular. That's what art is. I don't like it, you like it, you don't like it, I like it. That's what it's about. But the worst for me, Mike, was surf music.
Oh, surf music.
Surf music depressed me. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. So I'm the daughter of immigrant parents that are working harder than any 2 people should work just to put food on the table and a roof over our heads and maybe one change of clothes, and I'm not kidding, right? So I'm walking to school, or I'm going to school, and you know, somebody's got a transistor, and they're playing like, you know, happy surfing music, and I'm in Hamilton, you know.
Not a lot of surfing going on here.
And not a lot of money, you know what I'm saying?
Nor that, yeah.
To this day, like if I hear surf music, it just
Drives her wild.
yeah, you know, because you know there wasn't going to be any fun till Daddy
No.
took the T-bird away at my
Right,
house.
no,
You know what I'm saying?
I get
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
was-
Yeah. So I still, you know, and again, no offense to anyone, because I know it's very popular for me. You know, if I don't believe in hell, I don't. But if there was a hell, they're going to play that for me 24/7.
Ow! Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyway, that's
boy.
true.
All right, well, we got one more shot before this next song, and it's going to be what I like to call Smoking Rita. Whoa.
Yeah,
Does
I know.
She looks like a tough Italian
Absolutely.
Hamiltonian.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I was scared to death, but I had the look there with the cigarette and the hands, and yeah. How old was I there? Maybe 18, 19.
Okay, that's legal.
18, that's legal.
I didn't mean that.
Yeah, no, because we want to be legal, Mike. You know.
Yeah. Let's do the next song. Quick, before I get my foot in my mouth farther.
No.
No, just kidding.
Because okay, so then what happened? How I turned into this person? Where is she? Oh, she's
Oh,
gone.
she disappeared.
Oh, this person and the Battle Axe picture. The group picture was called Battle Axe.
Oh, yeah.
That was the name of the
Battle.
the band.
Not heard, the band.
The band was called I mean, they did sometimes warm up for me, and they'd say, you know, we're Rita Chiarelli, and the Battle Axe will be out. You know. I'd have to fire them for that, but anyway. And what happened was we had a radio on top of the fridge there, like in the old days, you know, and it had about 4 different bands, you know, AM, FM,
Shortwave,
shortwave, whatever,
long wave.
long wave, BM. I don't know. Is that a bowel movement? No. Anyway, whatever. It had all these bands, and you know, messing around with it one day, you know, I discovered the blues. Like it was either a station from Rochester or Erie or somewhere.
Chicago.
And they were, you know, they were playing the blues, and there were these women and men that, like, they're not singing what we're hearing, what I was hearing, man. They're talking about a whole different thing, and they're expressing it really differently, right?
Yep.
So I was like, people say that? People talk like that?
That's the blues.
That's the blues. So the discovery was
Hang on.
the best was
Wait for it.
Big Mama Thornton.
Big Mama Thornton. Related to
was like-
our sound man, Norm Thornton.
It was like, what?
Yeah, yeah, babe. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, cocky all time, yeah. Nothing but a hound dog, cracking all the time. Got no lady, ain't no friend of mine. Well, they said you was in high class. Lord, it's just a lie. Oh, someone said something about you being high class, baby.
doing short versions.
Whoa! Short. That was sudden. That was a sudden ending. Nice, Rita. Nice. Hound dog.
So, yeah, so it was like, wow, people say this stuff, man. This is more like how I feel.
Yeah, no more surf. You're into the blues.
Please, no more surf.
No
okay?
more surf.
And don't send me any surf stuff in case you're
Yeah.
trying to play a joke on me or something.
Don't you dare. Now, how did you learn to sing like that, Rita? Jeez, you really wail, don't you? Come on. You're a whaler.
I'm a whaler. Okay, so when I was a kid, you know, I went on the road right after high school, and we traveled throughout. And in those days, you know, the hours were from like 9 to 2, especially in the States, and
3.
yeah, and
9 to 3 sometimes.
sometimes, and then you know maybe 2 matinees,
Matinees.
right? And then maybe, you know, every drop of blood that you had to sing everything. So, you know, it was really hard on the vocal cords. And I met a man named Edward Johnson. Edward Johnson was probably one of the best vocal coaches ever. And he happened to be in Hamilton. He had been to the Met in New York, but had come back home. And there he is.
Yep, that's Ed.
And he took me under his wing. I had my tonsils out when I was in my 20s, and we weren't sure where my voice was going to go from there. And he took me under his wing, and he gave me lessons every day to build up my voice, and also never charged me.
Whoa.
Because
You
I
charged
wasn't.
me.
Well, because I wasn't working because of my tonsils and everything. So I owe so much to this man. And he taught me how to growl, but never lose your voice, right? His idea was that you could always, and you should always be able to go, no matter what was happening.
Hey!
You know what I mean?
I can't do that. Whoa. Ed Johnson.
And I owe him a lot. I mean, you know, he was amazing. And he taught so many Hamilton, you know, musicians who were able to discover him. And
A lot of them that have been on my show, like Dan Lanois and
Yeah.
Bob Deutsch, we all went to that guy. He was
yeah,
great.
Yeah, he was amazing.
I don't think it helped me, but it sure helped you. What about the next guy too? Because you know he did a lot for everyone in Canada. I think he brought rock and roll here.
Whoa!
That guy,
Rompin' Ronnie
as you probably know, he passed away last week.
passed away last week.
Sadly.
You know, I think that Ronnie, honestly, I think that he would be thrilled that he lived as long as he did.
Oh God, yeah.
I really think so. So I met him, I was playing at his bar in London. He had a bar in London that was like, it was an old city hall building. And on the first floor was like a showroom. The second floor was the wild room. The third floor where he hung out was the wildest room, right? And so I was playing there with Battle Axe, who you saw earlier, and he was in the audience. He was rehearsing his band, and he came up to me, or I came up to him, or whatever. He was sitting there, and he said, "If you ever want to join my band, carte blanche, anytime." So, I mean, to me, this was an invitation to join an elite group of musicians. You know, I'm like 20 years old, and this is like pretty much on the heels of Robbie Robertson and Garth Hudson and Levon Helm and Richard Manuel, and
Rick Danko.
you know, Rick Danko. And so you can imagine, for me, I mean, he was a legend, you know?
He
And so for me, it was like, whoa. And so I did. And I was with Ronnie, I think, just a little less than a year. And I met everyone from Bob Dylan to the Happy Hooker, I think.
Whoa!
Xavier Hollander or whatever her name was.
I don't know.
I know you know nothing. I know. You don't want to hear about it.
I'm a guy.
It was an
woman.
incredible experience. I mean, everybody that came into Toronto came to see Ronnie, and we met them all. You know, Frank Zappa. I mean, it just goes on and on. Mike Bloomfield. It just goes on and on. John Lennon. It was an incredible experience.
Yeah.
It was.
Okay, well, let's move on because we got to get to Italy now. We've got a shot.
Wait a minute. Now, are we going?
Okay,
oh, Jesus.
Whoa! Who's that?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, so at one point, the manager, I had a manager who was, and he was suing the record company. I was going to get a deal. The record company was suing the producer. The producer was suing the manager. They were all suing everybody for I'm not sure what. And so I said, well, I'm going to go to Italy.
Good call. I'm out. I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. You guys figure it out, and they never did. And I went to Italy, and my plan was to stay for my ticket was for 3 weeks, and I ended up staying for 6 years. I started eating. It's sort of eat, drink, eat again. Not so much praying. There wasn't much.
No. Atta girl.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah. And so they said, well, and I got this record deal. That it was a one thing, a 145 deal, and they said, we have to spruce you up. And so it's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting. And it was a really good deal. I mean, I did really well with that. You know, I did really well. But the time was for me to come home, you know.
Yeah. That's when you started writing seriously, I believe.
I started writing seriously in Italy. In fact, you know, truthfully, one of the tunes that I wrote in Italy was used in a soap opera.
Whoa.
And unbeknownst to me. And so years later,
I smell lawsuit.
no, they called me up and they said, you know, we've been looking for you and we need to send you money.
Oh, okay.
They said, in fact, it's quite a bit of money.
Nice.
And they told me the amount, which we'll keep secret right now, but they said, you know, it's really good if you come here in person. I'll be right there.
I'll be right.
And yeah, and that actually helped me buy my first house.
Nice.
That thing right there.
That worked. It worked for you.
That thing right there.
All right. So then you came back to Canada and started playing. Here. Where are you there?
I'm at the Horseshoe Tavern. I
love that place.
Yeah, and you know, I started doing bars and came back to Canada and you know, just started performing. I try not to wear that bustier thing anymore.
Well,
you know, I'm just trying to keep my fans at this point in my life. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, and we were wild and we did really, really well. Yeah.
Certified.
Yeah. There
Look
you
at
go.
that. Whoa.
Yeah. I look like I can play there.
How do you play with the guitar up there?
I don't know. Don't
Jeez,
ask.
That looks
It was
hard.
a moment. It was a moment.
So about now, you decided to make an independent recording.
I made an independent recording. It was called Road Rockets.
Road Rockets.
And I released, and this is honestly, you know, this is come to Jesus moment tonight. I released a 45, and I tell you the truth, I actually sealed. I got the 45s, put them in the envelope, sealed the envelope, licked the stamp, because in those days you had to lick the stamp. I licked every stamp, and I sent it out to as many radio stations as I could. It was called "Have You Seen My Shoes?" It was a heartwarming story. And I think it got played once on one radio station. And that one time, Bruce McDonald, who was unknown, who has become way more popular than he was then, heard it. He pulled his car over and went to a phone booth and called the radio station and said, "Who is that singing? Have you seen my shoes? I'm Bruce McDonald, and I'm doing a movie called Roadkill, and I need that song in my film," right? So the radio station didn't know who he was, right? They didn't know who he was, and so they called me up and they said, "Look, we don't want any responsibility, right? But this guy named Bruce McDonald is doing a movie, Roadkill, and he wants you to call him."
I think he's a stalker.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Is. There he is. And I called him up, and he was editing Roadkill literally around the corner from where I was living. And he put the song in the movie, and everything kind of started changing, you know. From there, I did another there's Roadkill. Can you guys see that okay over there? Yeah, it's cool, eh? So he put the tune in Roadkill, and from that CD, a gal, a Hamilton gal, her name is Floria Sigismondi. Ever heard of her?
There she is.
There's Floria. This was her first video, going from photographer to videographer. She did a tune of mine called "This Is My Life," and she did the video for it. And after my video, I called her up because I thought she could do a second one for me, and she said, "You might have to call my agent," because from there, she went on to Christina Aguilera, David Bowie, Marilyn Manson.
Your caller agent.
Yeah, call her. Yeah, it was a great experience, and it all came from Bruce McDonald hearing that tune on the radio. A one-chance thing.
All right, and then we're getting to the next song, folks, but before that, it was Breakfast at Midnight.
So
That's
then,
how that...
yeah. So eventually, I wrote a bunch of tunes and recorded them independently, and this CD is called Breakfast at Midnight.
Yeah.
And it changed everything for me. The first thing that we released was a tune called "If You Were Crying Over Me." And Adam Beach put it in one of his movies. And I'll play it for you. Would you like to hear it right now? When I was in Slave Lake, this woman came up to me and she said, "Will you play If You Were Crying Over Me?" Because my daughter, Betsy Johnson was her name. I had just released this tune and she had heard it. She had gotten killed in a car accident. And at the funeral, about 2,000, the town is only about 1,100 people, but 2,000 people came. And this is the song that they played. If you were crying over me, I'd catch each tear before it fell. Save it for
a wishing well to make your dreams come true, to make your sky more blue. That's what I do. If you were crying over me, I'd hold your head when you wake, fix your heart to never break. I'd make your voice to sing, I'd be that extra wing so you could fly. If you were crying over me, every day would be a Sunday afternoon, and every month would be the month of June, a big full moon sitting on the edge of a midnight tune. If you were crying over me, every breath would be an angel getting kissed, and every road would end in a rainbow bliss, a soft blue dress blowing in the wind like Sunday afternoon, and every month would be the month of June, a big full moon sitting on the edge of a midnight tune.
Nice, Rita.
Thank you. Thank you.
Whoa, yeah. That was a sweet song. Very nice. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, let's go back to Italy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, back to Italy for a sec here, because we
Going
got.
back to Italy?
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh,
Quar-
well, yeah, quota is right. I thought you meant the tune we're going to play.
oh, that's coming up.
Yeah.
but
So
quarter.
a few years back, then I decided that I was going to record an Italian CD of old Italian folk tunes to honor, of course, my Italian heritage. And at the time, I had a really well-known publicist that, you know, I know that a couple of my friends will know who it is, but we'll leave him unnamed at this time. So, you know, this publicist, so I said, you know, I'm recording Cuore, which is, it's an Italian CD, and it's all old Italian folk tunes. And he was like, oh my God, it's going to ruin your career. because he figured that you guys couldn't transcend your thing about me being a blues artist, but I'm Italian, and that we could, you could dig this, And so I said, well, I'm recording it. So he said, oh, God. He said, if it does well, I'll eat my shoe.
Uh-oh.
So that year, at the Museum of Civilization in Ottawa, I won Best Traditional Recording. I think he's still chewing.
Nice.
Another story really quickly, going back to Edward Johnson, was because I did a record release here in Hamilton and I wanted Ed to be there, and it had been many years since I had spoken to him. And by this time, he was well into his 80s. And I called him up, I found him, he was in Fergus at this time, and I called him up and I said, Ed, it's Rita Chiarelli, do you remember? Oh yeah, I remember you. And I said, I'm doing this Italian CD and I'm doing this record release and I'd love for you to come down, be my guest, I'll get you here, or, whatever you need, because I got a little verklempt, And I said, because Ed, I owe you a lot. And there was kind of silence, And then he said, I know.
There's the gratitude. So we're going to do a song from that,
I
right?
love it. So here's Mike. He's, tonight he called it the Dolce Vita because it's Decente Lui.
Say that again. I bet you can't.
It's Decente Lui, which is Neapolitan. And it was like, will you tell my love for me?
Oh.
Because I can't. And Mike was, I really like that Dencitello Gijavugi song.
Well, yeah, I'm Irish.
Tonight he said, let's go over that Dolce Vita song.
Yeah, whatever. You know the one.
Best. Anyway.
And I got to play mandolin like an Italian guy too, which is hard for me,
Oh, you're doing great on that.
I don't know.
All right, so I recorded this Italian CD that did incredibly well. Very proud of it. And we're going to do an Italian tune from that CD, okay? Di Centescella sta compagna vostra che già perduto suona fantasia. La penso sempre per tutta vita mia. Io ce volessi dire ma non gli saccio di te voglio bene, ti voglio bene assai, ti senti se lo vuoi, che non mi scordo mai. È una passione che forte una catena che mi tormenta l'anima e non mi fa campare.
una lacrima lucente v'è caduta. Decidimi un poco che pensate. Quest'occhio dolce, tu solo mi guardate, levamoci sta maschera, dicimmi la verità, te voglio bene, te voglio bene assai, dicitecelo voi, che non mi scordo mai. È una passione che forte una catena che me tormenta l'anima e non mi fa campare. Te voglio bene, ti voglio bene assai, dicetecelo voi, che non mi scordo mai. È una passione che forte una catena che me tormenta l'anima e non mi fa campare. Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
bilingual. Hey, nice. Well, we got to switch it up here and get to the big house, I think.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna move on to the big house. You folks know what I'm talking about? Oh, hey, they've seen the movie.
They've seen the movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh wait, microphone. I won't swear like Tom Wilson did last week when his microphone wasn't working.
Oh, we don't do that.
No, we don't swear.
We don't do that. So, so I used to take these journeys down to the South, you know, like
Deep South.
Deep South, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. And I used to want to soak up the culture, you know, just get inspired, you know, go down there and just feel like right away the air changes, everything changes. And it used to inspire me. So on one of my first journeys by myself, in my little Sunbird or whatever it was, didn't break down, Sunrise, or was it a Sunbird? I can't remember. It was a sun something. And I did some research, and I found, you know, I was going to stop in Clarksdale at the corners of the blues where Robert Johnson made the deal with the devil, and I was going to do all of that. And in that research was this place, Louisiana State Maximum Security Penitentiary, also known as Angola. And the reason it was in this whole blues archive, because somebody had gone in there, Ellen Lomax and other people had gone in back in the 20s and the 30s, and these recordings still exist, and had recorded the people in there, including Leadbelly and all these different, because it was in the Mississippi Delta. It had gone from a plantation to a penitentiary, right?
Kind of the same thing.
Kind of the same thing. They just scooped up people because the more people they had, the better the money that they got, you know? So I saw this research, and I mean, I saw this in my research, and I had no plan, absolutely no plan. So I'm going down Highway 61, and I come across a sign that says, Angola, turn right, right? Now, Angola was just an old part of Route 66, a branch of that, and at the end of that was the prison, but it was like the car turned. You know, it was just like, the car turned, and there was a convenience store right there. So I stopped at this would never, ever happen today. Never. But I stopped at the convenience store, and I said, you know, this is pre-cell phones, and I said, you know, do you have a phone book because I want to call the prison? I don't know what I'm doing.
Obviously.
I have no idea. I have no plan. I don't know what I'm doing. And she says, well, I know the number. It's 5554. She said, my boyfriend's in there. I said, well, this is good. So get the money, go to the phone booth at the corner of the convenience store, and I called them up, and I said, the first thing I said was, I'm Canadian.
Oh. That helped?
They liked that. At the time, anyway.
Anyway, at the time.
And I said, you know, I'm a blues artist, I'm Canadian, and I want, you know, I'd like to come in, you know, and, you know, I know you have a blues history because, you know, all these recordings, Lead Belly and all these, you know, I'd like to just come in and check this out. And lo and behold, she said, one of the wardens, who wasn't the big bopper, but she was one of the wardens, and she said, okay, I'll meet you at the gate.
Whoa.
Right?
Did you have second thoughts? No. Just kidding.
No, I was just excited, right? I was just excited. So this is an all-male maximum security penitentiary, right? So so she met me at the gate, and they said, you know, and I just explained I was interested in this kind of thing. And anyway, it's a long story, but, you know, I said, you know, first I said maybe I could do a concert, you know, for the guys. And she said, well, you know, a lot of people, we turn down a lot of famous people, you'd be surprised. And I said, wow, okay. And then I started, she said, well, send me what you're thinking. And I'd send things. Anyway, it got to the point where, like, they trusted me so much that they said, okay. Because I said, maybe I could perform, rather than performing, nothing to take away from Johnny Cash, but rather than just performing for the inmates, maybe I could perform with the inmates.
Whoa.
Right?
There's a concept.
There's a concept, right? Because they had bands in there, you know, different bands. And I said, maybe I could perform with them, and then we could have people, and we could, you know, and she said, well, that's never been done before. And I said, well, if it's never been done before, we should document it, right? We got to document it. And she says, well, you know, anyway, from one thing to another, they gave me the okay eventually to go down with a film crew and film a concert with the inmates, where this is death row, by the way.
Did you ever wonder what death row looked like? There it is.
That's death row in Angola.
Shit. I don't want to.
And they let me into and they let me out. Which, that was good too. That was really good.
That's a good thing.
And it resulted in music from the Big House. And I go back to Bruce McDonald because after I don't know how many years, I called him up, and he called me back, you know, and he said, "Hey, Rita," and I said, "Look, I've got this project. Can I meet you and talk to you about it?" And I met him at his coffee shop on College, his office, as it were. And I said, "Look, I've got the okay to go into a maximum prison and film," and, you know, and I showed him the card of the main warden who I had met, and his name was Warden Burl Kane. And if that isn't a movie, I don't know what is.
Ow.
So Bruce was like, "Wow, okay, okay.
I'm in, right?
I'm in." And he gave me a letter of intent.
There he is. There's you and him in prison,
Yeah.
outside of prison.
Well,
right?
yeah, we both got out okay. And he said, I'll tell you a quick story because I know we're time thing here, but he said, "Okay, I'll direct it." He said, "But you need a producer. I'm not a producer. You need to find money. And I said, okay. So a friend of mine gave me a card for a gal. Her name is Erin Faith Young. And she had taught at Ryerson, and this gal had her card from when she taught at Ryerson. But in the meantime, Erin was nominated for an Academy Award, and an Emmy. She said, so I don't know what you're going to do, but, here's a number. So I called her up, cold call. I said, I'm calling for Erin Faith Young. This is Rita Chiarelli calling. I'd really appreciate if you would call me back. So I figured my name would sound familiar. It didn't. So within 20 minutes, she called me back, right? Nominated for Academy Award, nominated for an Emmy. She called me back. And so I realized right away she didn't know who I was. So I said, I have a letter of intent from Bruce McDonald. I'm going into a maximum security penitentiary. She was a big fan of Bruce's, so she said, okay, meet me, come to our offices on Tuesday. And I said, great. I was like, and she said, by the way, how did you get my home number? Well, I had a friend. She said, I thought you were the tax lady. That's true. She thought I was the CRA, so she called me back right away. So not knowing who I was a good thing.
Yeah, that worked
And the
out.
rest is, we made this great film, Music from the Big House.
We're going to do a song from that, I think. We got a couple more photos. There you guys are on the stage.
Yeah.
We've got another shot of you with the inmates. And here's the soundtrack.
Yeah, rehearsing.
Which is, I think, on the merch table up
Yeah.
there.
Also, we have a few of the documentaries. We have a few copies of the documentary.
The actual
it's
DVD.
It's a really great film, guys. Honestly,
I watched it twice. It's good.
So I was asked to write a tune. When I got home, I was asked to write a tune for the soundtrack. And it was difficult because we were all so emotional from the experience. And I didn't know how I would put my feelings into a song. And then I thought, well, I'll put myself in their place. I'll put myself in the place of the inmates that I spoke to and met. And I'll write it from their voices. So I came up with this tune. This is called These Four Walls. You see these bars, you see these chains. You think you don't know me, I have no name. 'Cause all I have, these four walls. Yeah, these four walls. Yeah, these four walls. I had a mother, a father too. No, you can't believe I was a lot like you. 'Cause all I have, these four walls. Yeah, these four walls. Yeah, these four walls. Well, I had a wife, I had a son. Man, they were hungry, and I had a gun. I saw that man, I watched him die. I took his life, his life.
Till they lay you down, and boy, they're gonna lay you down one side one. So I say, just take me now, Lord, 'cause all I have are these four walls. Yeah, these four walls. Let's do it. My God. I had a wife, I had a son, man, they were hungry, and I had a gun. I saw that man, I watched him die, I took his life took mine. On this earth don't come till they lay you down, man. They're gonna lay you down one side one. And I said, just take me now, Lord, 'cause all I have are these four walls. Yeah, these four walls. I said, now take me now, Lord, 'cause all I have, oh Lord, all I have, Lord, Lord, all I have are these four walls. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
nice one, Rita. That's going to be a hard act to follow, but I'm sure you can.
I'll do my best, Mike.
Okay, well, we're going to break out of the prison for just a moment.
We're going to break out.
And we're going to talk symphonies and orchestras,
Yeah.
because you did play with several.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
There I am with the symphony. That's the Colorado.
Durango.
Yeah, Durango, Colorado. San Juan Symphony. And the thing, it's about hearing your tunes with like a 60-piece orchestra, Cool. It was just the most incredible experience. I was asked if I wanted to do that, and I had to get charts made and stuff, and I said, yeah, I'm going to go to town on this one and have the orchestra back me up. So that was a really great step. And then, of course, there was this man.
It brought you up to
Boris Brott. If you were born in Hamilton or if you're around Hamilton, when I was a kid, Boris was like, he brought symphony to Hamilton.
There was really no symphony before
Boris.
He made it.
He made it happen.
Yeah.
And he was young at the time when he first came to Hamilton, and he would bring the symphony. He brought it at the Steel Company, I think, or this Vasco or somewhere, and he was just enthusiastic and wild. And all I would hear about this, even though I was in a whole different field and a whole different realm, I'd hear about this Boris Brott. So then when I started doing some symphony stuff and had charts made and I could perform with symphonies, I got a call because they had heard, Boris and his wife, Ardith, had heard that I performed with symphonies. So one day I got the call from Ardith Brott. And she said, I'm Ardith Brott, and we're interested in having you perform with Boris and the symphony. And I was like,
Okay, sign me up.
oh, yeah. Well, yes, I'm interested in that. And we ended up doing about 4 or 5 shows together. We had talked shortly before his passing about this summer that we were planning to do some things together. And he was an inspiration, folks. He was an inspiration. This guy loved life, loved music, was excited, was inspiring. He was like, yeah, let's do that. He'd look over, yeah, Rita, come on, you know. He was like that.
Yeah, that's what he was.
And I loved him. I loved him. My heart was broken.
Yeah.
My heart was broken. Love him.
Well, heck. Okay, back to prison.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get back to the prison.
Yeah, let's.
Oh, hey, because we're running low on time here. We're
Okay,
going to
let's
get
go.
you folks
Let's
out of
go.
here.
Yeah.
So-
And now, so ever since I did music from the big house, Mike, everywhere I went, people wanted me to take me to prison.
Whoa!
Every place, Switzerland, we want you to see this prison that we have. And it's like, you know, that's my sort of German accent. Was is you could take
Sort
you
of.
to the prison and meet the peoples. And I'm like, God, I'm so sick of being in prison. But anyway, this is Topeka. This is a correctional facility for women. In Topeka, maximum security is where I went in. I'll cut to the chase. I know we don't have a lot of time. I ended up there, and I was artist in residence at a conference, and they asked me to go in. And when I was in there, I realized that more women are being incarcerated than ever before. And I wanted to know why, and I wanted to figure it out. You know, I wanted to see. So I asked the prison, the warden, and my liaison, who is Rex Pryor, and I asked if he could arrange for me to go in and find out what's going on, and we'll talk to the maximum security women that have lost their voices, abused. This film that I'm doing, this next documentary, is going to be called Voices from a Concrete Ceiling. And it will be unlike any other prison film you have ever seen. And I promise you that. I promise you that.
Nice.
We're editing as we speak, and hopefully we will have it released soon. So anyway, one of the women that's gonna be in there for a very long time is a gospel singer, and of course we were on a tight budget, and you know, to get someone else's gospel tune costs a few bucks. So I said, I'll write a gospel tune.
Okay.
I can do that.
You can do that, I'm sure. Let's play it for them.
You know, in the blues, you've been singing the devil's music all this time. Why don't you
Hey.
do a gospel tune?
Yeah, switch to the other
I can
camp.
do that.
All right.
So I wrote this tune. This will be like the jailhouse gospel tune. This is called I'm Still Here, Lord. I'm still here, Lord. Have you forgotten about me? I'm holding on to your words. You said alone I'd never be. I've done wrong and I'm sorry for all the hurt and worry. I'm counting on you, Lord. I'm still here. Do you still listen? Can you hear me when I cry? My body might be caged, but my soul still wants to fly. Take this darkness, this pain, Lord. Take this fear, 'cause I'm counting on you, Lord. I'm still here. next miracle. Take my heart in your hand. Put your lips to my ear. Tell me how I make it bad. Will you still carry me, Lord, through the darkest of nights? With grace down upon me, take me to the morning light. I'll be the best I can be, Lord, to know you are near. I'm counting on you, Lord. I'm still here. Well, I'm counting on you, Lord. I'm still here. My first gospel tune, folks.
Nice one, Rita.
Thank
Well,
you. Thank you.
Well, that brings us almost to the close of the show. Rita's going to do one more song in a minute, but I do have to thank everyone that's been involved in this because, well, first of all you folks, like I say, I'm grateful that you all made it out tonight, so thanks for coming. And let's get to the production team. I'm going to have to talk about Neil Miller, our executive director. He's my partner that pulls this together. Neil?
Yeah, Neil.
Great guy, great to work with. I love him. We've got Mark Scola and Jordana. There he is waving back there. Those guys are putting it out on YouTube and Facebook. I don't know how they do it, but as you leave, look at all the gear they got back there. There's wires going everywhere just to get this out on the internet. So, and let's not forget our sound guys, Norm and Sean back there.
Norm.
Norm and Rita go way back.
Way back.
So do I. Norm. And the rest of the crew, the volunteers, we love them here. We've got sponsors. We got Marie Phillips. Now, she's in the house tonight. And Marie Phillips runs Next Steps Planning, IPC. Thanks to Marie. And then we've got Clear Cable. These are the guys who kind of like connect us to the internet. They're not here. They're out there in the ether somewhere.
Maybe they could come to my house. I've been asked.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Okay. And our sponsor, Judy Marcel's Real Estate. Yeah, Judy's in the house. I don't think Judy's ever missed a concert. So thanks to Judy. Dave Gruggan, the photographer, our resident photographer, Dave. And the big money people, Incite Foundation for the Arts and the Ontario Trillium Foundation. We love those guys too. Before we finish, I just want to make a plug for my own band because my band is back in action. We're called Band from Heaven. You know, BANNED. Yeah. But we're not Satanists, nor are we Christians. We're somewhere in the middle there, so it's not bad. But we're playing at Pub Fiction this Saturday, June 11th, in our hometown, Pub Fiction in Ancaster. Okay, enough of that. Thank you. Next up, next month, we've got a great Hamiltonian rocker coming up, Tommy Swick. You guys know Tommy? He's big. I love that guy. He's a great songwriter, great Hamilton guy. So Tommy Swick. And again, thanks to you guys for coming out. So we're going to play one more song, Rita, right?
One more tune.
Okay.
One more tune. I wrote this coming back from Alabama. And here's to you guys. Listen, if you promise to come back, I'll come back and do a full concert if you will. All right?
Hey, come on. Wouldn't that be great?
All right. Thank you. Thank you for coming out. I always appreciate it. Yeah. All right, this is called Home. I lay down beside you. I'm dust from the road. Where sleep has been borrowed and dreams have been sold.
'cause with every stop I make, another town I kiss goodbye. Promise I break, and no matter where I travel, no matter where I roam, baby, in your arms I'm home. Well, I've tried, baby. A gypsy's all I am. Nothing could hold me, or this rage in my head. Memory is sweeter than I could ever be. Loving you goes deep. Slowly memory, and no matter where I travel, no matter where I roam, baby, in your arms I'm home. Well, you know I wait a lifetime for you, babe. Have you here with me? Remembering is sweeter than I could ever be. Loving you goes deeper. Slowly memory, and no matter where I travel, no matter where I roam, baby, in your arms I'm home. Well, no matter where I travel, no matter where I roam, baby, right here tonight, in your arms I'm home.
Rita Chiarelli. Yeah, come on, Rita. We got merch at the
Thank you.
table. Yeah, whoa.
Thank you. We'll sign stuff back there. Thank you so much for coming out. You know, I appreciate it.